another place we visited. Right, I'm going to do that. It's another place we visited in our prior trip. It was Christmas this year, and we didn't stop in Nazareth. But Nadia, we've been talking a little about SIndyanna and our visit there, and about the important impression you made and the women made when we were in the center, and your life as a peacemaker. And so we're looking forward to hearing from you. I'm going to make you the host so that you can share a video.
Yeah.
And I'll turn it over to you. So thank you. Welcome.
Toda.
Tfadali.
I will present myself, and then we will put a short video that present at least to have an idea what it is SIndyanna of Galilee. And after that, we will have more explanation and questions if there is. Yeah, this is the frame, or you have another idea, Barbara?
So this is perfect.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Nadia Giol. I live in Upper Nazareth. This is the Upper Nazareth is mixed city, Arab and Jewish together. And I work in SIndyanna of Galilee since 7 years ago. I started as the facilitator of the groups, and a few years ago I started also to be the manager of the visitor center and the responsible of all the social projects and to what it's related to host groups from different places around the world and from Israel, of course. I'm a social activist and peace activist since I remember myself. And this is not accidentally that I joined SIndyanna 7 years ago, because if I there, because I feel home, because I really connect to the values that SIndyanna bring, and to the fact that we are collaborating with Arabs and Jewish together in order to create better space to live in it. I'm, beside my work in SIndyanna, I'm a nonviolence communication facilitator in multicultural groups. And I'm active in the nonviolence communication community locally and internationally. And here in Israel, beside my work in SIndyanna, I work as a facilitator of groups in, I don't know if you heard Givat Chaviva Center. This is a peace center also that bring Arabs and Jewish and also internationals. And I'm working 3-4 months a year there. And also I combine projects, Arabs and Jewish, and I do what I can to make a difference in my life. I did it, and I'm trying to do that also to support others to make this different. I'm a mom for 2 girls. I'm married with the man from Spain. Yes, we have 2 daughters. One, she's still in Israel, and the other one studying in Spain now for the first year in the university. And the other one, she making national service. For the one who don't know, I'm Palestinian Israeli. And, you know, this puzzle of identity, I think it's contribute a lot to my life and to my work and to what I'm doing here in SIndyanna and outside of SIndyanna. And I hope that to continue to do this work, to bring more calm and more peace, and to make a difference in these crazy times that we live. Then I will I will share now a short film about SIndyanna, and then I will have a little bit more explanation about SIndyanna, and then we will open the space for questions.
How can olive oil create hope?
Just to be sure that everyone saw it and heard it, then I can continue. No?
I heard it, but I didn't see it. I don't know if you want to, there's a box to put for
When
video.
I open it, I only see the screen of the film, because this I paused and I wanted to be sure that you hear
Okay.
and see. Okay, let me try again.
I think there's a box to say for video panel
Yes.
at the bottom when you share it. Let's see if that works.
Where?
When you have the share screen,
Okay, just a minute. Then I have first to press share screen and then to just a minute.
yes.
Yes, I think this is what I have to do.
Okay.
Share screen and then,
At the bottom, there's a little
Yes.
box,
yeah.
and then it'll go. That's good. That's now we
Now
see
you
it.
can see it. Now you see it. I just to play.
Yes, yes, indeed. Beautiful. Doofy, doofy. We can see it.
SIndyanna of Galilee, a nonprofit organization led by Arab and Israeli women, has created a new line of fair trade olive oils through a unique collaboration. One day, one unified message, bringing together Arab and Israeli children to create colorful artworks for the new labels of SIndyanna olive oil. The same award-winning fair trade olive oil produced by their mothers side by side. The children were asked to illustrate ideas of optimism, togetherness, and hope. Speaking two different languages, yet united by endless colors and shades, the children formed instant bridges between the two cultures and together helped bring the new SIndyanna vision to life. By changing the word virgin with unified, positive, hopeful, and peaceful, the new SIndyanna labels now convey an inspiring message of empowerment and peace. Every single bottle of SIndyanna Fair Trade olive oil encapsulates a taste of coexistence. All profits support the creation of economic opportunities and education for Arab and Israeli women and promote peace for future generations. SIndyanna, the taste of fair trade.
Okay. Yeah. No, just a minute. I will close it. Okay.
How can olive oil create hope?
All right. If you stop the share at the top,
Yeah, just a minute.
great.
Uh,
Thank you.
Why I don't see this? I have to close first. Yes, now it's okay.
Yes.
Yes, sometimes technology is challenging because I do that from home, not today, Saturday. I'm not in the work and I have to adjust it. Okay, guys, then I will give a little bit more explanation about the organization. As you see, we are Arab and Jewish Women Fair Trade Organization. The idea that was behind the organization more than 20 years ago, it started by Arab and Jewish women peace activists. And it started as a mother school, how to support women in lack of education and profession to support their children in the school. And soon they understood that these women need more than to support their children and how to bring food home. And most of them, they are growers of olive trees. And the idea started with selling bottles of olive oil. Later, it started to take jerrycans of olive oil and to sell it in Tel Aviv. And slowly, slowly, they understood that they have to do something in order to make a difference, and especially when we are talking about women. And then the organization became NGO in '96. A little bit later, it became also social business, because in order to maintain our social project, they needed economic support. And this is how they did it. It's from selling the products. They are maintaining the social projects, and it is still working this way till today. We lay only on us and selling our products, and we don't have any government support or funding support. 2003, we became part of the World Fair Trade Organization, because in the 2000, there was a very intense time politically here in the country. I don't know if some of you remember, it started the second Intifada, And in Sindyana, we realized that we cannot lay only in the local markets, because when it's arrived to politics, it's also affect us as an organization, Arab and Jewish, and then we are depend of the mood of the country in order to sell or not to sell our products. And it was the idea to join the World Fair Trade Organization to be able to export our products outside the country. And this is happening already a lot of years. And also we export to your country. You can today order even our olive oil in Amazon, in several fair trade organizations like Serve International, 10,000 Village, Whole Food. And today I think we sell to several countries, Europe, Japan. In a few days, we will have also visit from Japan. They come to visit Sindyana. And also we have the control of the FDA from United States, because we sell to United States. In November, we had the last control of them. And we really work hard all the year in order to be in the top quality, in order to be able to sell it in all the places. Women, and as a fair trade organization, we invest back in the community by 3 ways. The first one, it's empowering women in lack of education and profession, and especially if we're talking about Arab women, that this piece of in the society that more weak, and there is more women in need for work and economic support. And women, they come and learn several skills like basket weaving, hydroponic. Today we have more 40 women. Mostly they are planting their vegetables by this method that we was so busy to develop it in the pandemic time. We have no visitors in the visitor center. Cooking, language is one of the skills that really needed in order to have more chance and more opportunities to get work, since the Hebrew is the official language in the country. And even if they work from home, they need the Hebrew, because everything and logistic, everything is in Hebrew. English, and now we developed the last few months, we start to make initiative that called Cooking Without Borders. We invite chefs, Arabs and Jewish, and people, they come from all the country, they participate in this workshops. And one of the other things that we really promote, and very, very important for us as women and as Arabs and Jewish, is to promote the issue of common life, how to create a space where we can meet from personal level, far away from prejudice and political issues, and to be able to collaborate, even we don't agree sometimes with each other. And this is what I say, we are not supposed to agree with each other in order to collaborate and to bring well-being to our life and better future for our children. And the third thing, as a fair trade, that we support farmers how to convert their crops from organic, from simple product and not organic to organic crops that, and the quality of product that can be sold in the local international market. One of the things that we do also, we start a new collaboration with the farmers from the West Bank, also to support them to be fair trade, and also that they can also be able to sell their product with a fair price that can support them economically. And they can also, and this year we had the chance to buy the first olive oil from Kfar Kadum, from Nablus. And especially in the tough time that we have the last few months in the harvest season, against all the harvest that happening in this time and the things that was happening this time, to have a collaboration from its kind and to bring olive oil from there, it means this is give us a lot of hope, and that we are continuing to be busy to bring well-being and to bring good things to our existence here in this country. I think I will stop here, and we can give a space for questions, and we can have more explanation during these questions.
All right, so I invite people to signal and I'll call on you so we can have one at a time. Questions? Or unmute if you want.
Hi, I would like to ask a question in terms of this. My name is Mark Weiland, and I love what you've said so far. How does the spirit of peaceful coexistence, how has it changed over the time that you've been part of SIndyanna?
Let's say I can tell you that since I'm working there, I feel that I found the island of sane, that where I can feel really hopeful, even with tough time, because there we are family and we are acting as a family. You know, just a few days ago, we just have a reunion of all the team for my birthday. And, you know, we was just saying that what we are doing here, that it's not something usual, that the fact that we are here together, collaborating together, working together, and we come with love to what we are doing, it's not something usual. And especially in this tough time and this ambient that we have in the country, like everything, it's falling down on our head. And we are there sitting and talking how we can improve our life. And, you know, it's give me strength. I remember the last, in the 2020, I guess some of you remember which violence that we experienced in our country between Israeli citizens, Arabs, and Jewish. And I think this was one of the strong experience that I experienced, that we are really strong family in SIndyanna. And instead, this situation to make us weak, it's give us more strength, that we have the faith that we have to work more in order to make a difference. I think the fact that we are exist more than 20 years, and there is still people joining SIndyanna and believe with what SIndyanna doing, I think it's mean a lot. Because, you know, even in private things as a Palestinian Israeli, I remember myself since I was young, that I have to make a force, and I have to make effort to adjust my life to the Jewish side, to make things that maybe the Jewish love in order to accept me. And in SIndyanna, I don't have to pretend who I am. I come with who I am. I speak the language, what I feel that I connect, and I know everyone will understand me, because usually I found myself a lot of years of my life, I'm working in a places that even I cannot talk my mother language, because others, they don't understand it, or where there is some people can feel discomfortable to hear my mother language. And in this place, I feel home. This is simply as this is.
Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Mark, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, someone else.
I think Deborah, she wanted to.
Yeah, Debbie Rosenblatt, do you want to unmute?
Well, I don't know. Dare I ask this question? Why do you refer to the two peoples as Arab and Jewish? Why not Muslim and Jewish, or Arab Israeli and Jewish Israeli?
It's good. It's a good question.
Thank you.
Okay, I have to make an explanation in order to answer you for these questions. When we talk about identities in Israel, there is a lot of confusion about the identity of the people who speak Arabic in Israel. The people who speak Arabic in Israel, they are Palestinians. They are Arab because their mother language is Arabic. We are Palestinians because we are part of the Palestinian community who live inside Israel and stayed inside Israel, and we count about 2 million. And Israel call us Arabs Israeli, took out from our identity the Palestinian part. And also there is some places in the world they call us the Arabs of 48. And Arabs, we can be Muslims, we can be Christians, okay? And also something new, and sometimes the Jewish, they don't recognize it, that also there is Arab, they are Jewish, that they came originally from Arab countries or their mother language is Arabic. This is something that in Israel, people don't dare to say that. Maybe the last few years we can hear it there and here and there, but people usually, they don't use this. And yes, we have a puzzle of identity in Israel. We are the Palestinian, we are Arabs from one side, we are Palestinians, we are Israeli in the same time. And our religion, in my case, my religion is Muslim. But in the SIndyanna, we have also Christians. And I don't know if there is, there is also in Israel, there is other communities like Druze that they are Arabs, but they have a special religion. They divided from the Islam in the 11th century. And there is the Circassian. The Circassian, they are not Arab, but they are Muslims. Yeah, then it's a puzzle of identity. And there is a people, they don't know that the Bedouins, I don't know if you hear about the Bedouin community in the Negev or in the north. The Bedouins, they are Arab, Palestinians, Muslims. Bedouin, they called Bedouin because of the way of life. Bedouins, the people who moved from place to place to find for their animals.
Oh, toda rabba. Thank you very much. I sit corrected. Good.
Thank you, Debbie.
I have a
That was a
question.
wonderful question. Susanna, and then Ed.
My question is also about language and identity. And I'm just curious, Nadia, you were talking about how when you were growing up and as a Palestinian Israeli, you felt many times that you needed to sort of become more Israeli, I guess, learn Hebrew. And in SIndyanna, to be successful, you talked about the Palestinian Israelis, Arab Israelis, however you want to describe all the identities, needing to improve their Hebrew to be successful. Is there also an effort at SIndyanna of the Jewish Israelis to learn Arabic? And how do you view that trend within Israel and the importance of that for you and for your community?
Yeah, I will, the first point, the Jewish who working in SIndyanna, most of them, at least 90% of them, they are speaking very well Arabic and they communicate in Arabic. And most of them, they make the effort to learn the Arabic when they was adults and they did it from choice. And it's not something easy. I know how much it's difficult to learn Arabic if it's not your mother language as an adult. And it's really big challenging, and I really appreciate that. This is what I said before, in SIndyanna, we can speak Arabic or Hebrew and everyone is understanding. About the Arabic and the Hebrew, in Israel, the official, till the 2018, the Hebrew, it was the first official language in Israel, and Arabic, it was the second official language. But since 2018, there was offered a new law to take out the officiality of the Arabic language. And today it's not the second official language. And there is other thing that Arabic I don't know if you know, in Israel, we have one education system, but it's separated to two languages, Arab system and Jewish system. And in Arab system, we learn as a mandatory Arabic, Hebrew, and English till we finish the high school. And I went to Arab school. And in the Jewish system, we learn Hebrew, English, and Arabic. It's a choice only. It's not mandatory. And of course, most of the Jewish that who learn Arabic in the schools, they learn it for 2-3 years. and not when since they was child. It's just from I think it start from the 7th grade till the 9th grade, and after that, and they do it very, very basic. It's not in a level that even they can speak a language, and very few that they continue with Arabic till when they finish the high school, especially if they want to go to serve in the army in departments that they need the Arabic language. But in general, the issue of learning the Arabic language, people don't make much the effort. And I think I related this for two things. Systematically, it's not mandatory. It means the government don't make effort to give presence to the Arabic language and importance. And the other thing, because of the political situation, a lot of people consider it's the enemy language and they don't want to learn it. And it's a pity that we live in a country that we speak the two languages and that we don't know enough the language of each other because of the systematic separation.
Thank you for sharing all that and explaining.
Thanks, Susanna. Ed?
Oh, hi, Nadia. It's nice to see you again, and I appreciated reading about your story in the Heartbeats book.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, and your story of your mother supporting your independence and feminism, and I wonder to what extent your model of bridges between women, you know, being more focused on nurturing life than having power and dominance. And are there other, you know, female-centered peace organizations or ways that women connect around promoting peace?
I just will give you an example that I do it outside. It's also we collaborate. First of all, in the level of SIndyanna, we collaborate with other organizations that a lot of women also, they are there, Arabs and Jewish together. They are promoting this issue. For example, I'm participating with a project that called Empowering Palestinian Women, and also international nonviolence communication community, that not only in Israel, there is Arabs and Jewish that they want to promote peace, and also in the West Bank, we have a lot of women. They are working hard and making all what they can to make a difference. And even to learn nonviolence communication, they make the effort to learn with the international community. And now I'm really happy. A few years ago, I started, before the pandemic, I started working together with a lot of sisters from Bethlehem, from Ramallah, from Gaza, from Tulkarem. And the last few months, we was meeting also in Zoom because we cannot meet in person. That these women, they are paying a very heavy price because they are trying to do a lot of activities that bring collaboration between Israelis and Palestinians. And it's not so easy for them to do that also in the personal level and in the political level and where they live. And I know there is a lot of women, you know, few months ago, I received a group from Taglit with few soldiers from Israel. And one of the soldiers, she told me it was her first time that meet Palestinian that as a peace activist. And this was sad for me. From one side, I was happy that she had this opportunity to meet a Palestinian that active for peace. But from other side, it was sad for me because as a soldier, Israeli soldier, that the only thing that she know about Palestinians that from the army. And she never thought that maybe also there is a Palestinian women that can be also peace activists and they want peace and they want good life and not only fighting. You know, it just reflects the sad reality that we live from the both sides.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ed. Josh?
Hi, Nadia. I was also there 6 weeks ago, and I loved your introduction to SIndyanna that you gave us when we were there. and my memories are that it's a place of light. I mean, I remember literally sunlight, but also just an open, warm feeling there. So I really appreciate what you do. I'm wondering, because as you just said, it is very, people often stay in their own silos, their own parts of existence, and they don't have an opportunity to interact. How do you find people to come be a part of SIndyanna, you know, either on the Palestinian side or on the Jewish Israeli side? I mean, I remember hearing that you have some religious, maybe even Haredi women who are involved. Is that correct on the Jewish side?
Yeah, we had a woman that she was religious. Yeah, and also in the project, sometimes, yes, there is the religious that they come.
I was just wondering, how do you try to bring more and more people in? Do people come to you? How do you cross over those barriers to?
Let's say there is two things that we're doing in SIndyanna. One, it's not it's our purpose. It's not to convert everyone as part of SIndyanna. Our purpose, first of all, to support how much women we can in the frame of the ability and the economic abilities that we can and the social abilities that we can. And the second thing, it's to bring people to get to know SIndyanna, to bring people to get to know the SIndyanna activity in order to know and to understand that there is other way to do things. And there is things that happening in real, and this is possible. And as I mentioned before, the fact that sometimes soldiers come to visit in SIndyanna, or Israelis that they come to visit in SIndyanna in general, and who don't believe that Arabs and Jewish, they can collaborate peacefully, that to know that it's possible. You know, also this year it was really rich of visiting, and I hosted a lot of soldiers that they came with Taglit groups. And one of another soldier, she told me, I want to bring my mom here to SIndyanna to get to know you. I say, why it's important for you to bring her. She say, my mom, she live in one way head. And she only know that there is no peace with Arabs. They are in their side and we are in our side. And the war, it's our only solution. And she said she want to bring her here to know that there is other way to do the things. And this is possible and this is real. And it's not just in the news. And this was really amazing for me. The fact that this woman, this young lady that came to visit us and they knew about us, and she go home to talk with her parents and to talk with her friends about what's happening. This is the impact that we want to see in SIndyanna to people. Not only to joining working SIndyanna or just to buy the SIndyanna product. I think by selling our products and by receiving people in this place to tell them our story, this is what I considered the seed of hope that we are planting in order to bring the change, even with the small steps. This fact that this girl that tell her family, for me, it's entire life, you know, it's a life of a family, of a new generation that believe there is other possibility.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. I wish, so you say Taglit, so the birthright?
Yeah,
groups
birthright,
come?
mostly from United States, from Europe, that I know that there is a challenging now, there is less groups come, but we host Taglit group and birthright in our center more than 5 years. And a lot of soldiers, sometimes they join them from Israel. And I'm happy that, yeah, and I'm happy that soldiers also can come to visit us, because Israeli initiative soldiers alone, they will not do that. And I'm happy that they can join these programs and they can come to visit us. Because one of the soldiers, he was responsible of a groups, soldier groups. He wanted to bring them to our place after he visited. and he could not do that because we are not organization that considered to give service to the army. Yeah.
I mean, when we went to Yad Vashem and we
Yes.
saw hundreds of, young soldiers there, I guess as part of their training, and it would be nice if they could come to SIndyanna as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's amazing, but yes, we succeed. We have them sometimes, and this
and
is
how do
amazing.
how do they find you? Do they come as just on their own?
No, they
hear about
come
you, or-
group of Taglit. It's in the frame of the Taglit visit. That I don't know if you know a little bit the purpose. There is a collaboration between the army and the birthright organization. When the groups come here, sometimes they join few, at least 5 and 8 soldiers. They join groups in their journey here in Israel in order to get to know them and also to encourage them to make aliyah and to explain to them about the army. And then sometimes, yes, they join them and they come to visit us together, not alone in the frame of birthright, and not alone. Alone, they cannot come to visit us because by the army, we are not considered that we can give only for soldiers, but in the frame of birthright, yes, we can.
Thank you, Nadia.
Okay.
Thank you, Josh. Let's just see if there's just one more. Shelley?
Nadia, I was part of the group that came into SIndyanna in 2018. And I don't remember the sunlight outside. It was so muddy that we couldn't actually go out to the fields, but we did do a lot of weaving that day. And I still have this as a nice memory of SIndyanna. The comment I wanted to make was that I so appreciate you talking about the power and the impact of language, in that, so many people talk about coexistence. We're working on coexistence, but I really appreciate that you use the word family and you use the word relationship building. That makes all the difference at SIndyanna and in other places. So thank you.
You're welcome. I say about coexistence, even I don't use this word because always I say the coexistence, it already exists in Israel. There is a reality that there is the fact that 2 nations, we are sharing the same homeland, and this is the time to stop, call it coexistence, to say that we are here, we are sharing life here, and we have to promote this and not still stuck in the coexistence. Otherwise, we cannot make it different if we are stuck in the same thing.
Nadia, this is you were such a gem. This is such a powerful gift to our people, whether if they've been to SIndyanna or they hope to go to SIndyanna, I think it will be is the greatest gift. But for those who can't, to hear your voice, to hear your authenticity, your honesty about your life experience and how you bring people together and how you create hope is what I think our people really need in all the ways that you've shared. And I want to note how I was hearing from someone recently about not sending kids on birthright. And here's an example of how actually, whether the original founders or the funders know about it or not, birthright is bringing soldiers to SIndyanna as an act of peace and an act of awareness. And that's a powerful addition that you're making for us, so that we can not only be supporting by sending funds and buying the olive oil, but by really raising the awareness. I want to ask if you have any final thoughts, anything you want to share. I don't want to take more of your time, but I'll let you know that I have 2 poems, and you're welcome to stay after you're done. But are there some final thoughts you want to share with our group?
You know what I want to say, that it's time to know that life is short and we have to invest our energy how to bring people together and how to create well-being to all of us as a human being first. And to know that to be different, it's not supposed to be a threat. Yes, because sometimes these differences, it can enrich our life and not the opposite. This is what I want to say. And I want to say thank you guys for you that you're making the effort to be here with me. And this is really powerful for me. And I hope that our voice, not only my voice, because my voice, I consider it our voice. And we can take it on and to bring more pieces of hope to this world.
Thank you. Thank you. Shukran.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Shukran,
much.
Nadia.
So Darabah,
Thank you.
Thank you, Nadia.
So I have a couple of Toda rabah, Nadia. I have a couple of poems, Nadia, and what you've lifted up is something we heard in a really remarkable place on our trip, the idea of finding hope in the hardest places. I think that's akin to the idea of courage being an act that doesn't mean you're not afraid. It actually means you've experienced fear and you're willing to keep trying out of courage. And hope is the same way. And the poem I read before by Naomi Shihab Nye that we read is similar, that kindness comes out of the experience of sorrow and pain, and then you really develop empathy to be able to be kind. I have two poems now about hope that have a similar tenor about holding all the aspects of hope. The first one is by Mahmoud Darwish, very important Palestinian poet, and the second is by one of the most important Israeli poets, Yehuda Amichai. So I'm going to, okay, so I'm going to need to, Nadia, if you make me the host again. Thank you. Oh, look, Susanna wrote in Arabic. Yeah.
Hide where, how I can do that? You can remind me?
Sure. Go to participants.
Participants, okay.
And the very first participant, or up at the top, you should find Rabbi Barbara Penzner.
Here it's a, when I say participant, it's telling me to invite. Copy, invite, no.
No, just click on the two little people at the bottom.
Okay.
And then there should be a list of participants.
Yeah, okay, I'm see. Yeah, I see now here.
So if you go to Rabbi Barbara, there to the right,
Make host, yes.
there are three dots. Make host. That's good. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So I hope you'll at least stay on. Thank you for the poems. As a kind of a gift from us to you. And just to let you know, for those who are not familiar with Mahmoud Darwish, he was born in the Galilee, lived in exile in Beirut and Paris, authored over 30 books of poetry, and has earned awards for his poetry. In 1996, he was permitted to return from exile to visit friends and family in Israel and Palestine, and died in Houston, Texas in 2008. So I'm going to ask Josh if you would read this poem, please.
Sure. When he thought about hope, he felt weary and bored, and constructed a mirage, and said, "How shall I evaluate my mirage?" He searched in his desk drawers for the person he was before asking this question, but found no notes containing thoughtless or destructive urges. Nor did he find a document confirming he had stood in the rain for no reason. When he thought about hope, the gap widened between a body that was no longer agile and a heart that acquired wisdom. He did not repeat a question, "Who am I?" because he was so upset by the smell of lilies and the neighbors' loud music. He opened the window on what remained of a horizon and saw two cats playing with a puppy in the narrow street and a dove building a nest in a chimney. And he said, "Hope is not the opposite of despair. Perhaps it is the faith that springs from divine indifference, which has left us dependent on our own special talents to make sense of the fog surrounding us. He said, hope is neither something tangible nor an idea. It's a talent. He took a beta blocker, putting the question of hope aside, and for some obscure reason, felt quite happy.
Thank you, Josh. And from Yehuda Amichai, who is the poet laureate of Israel. And I've shared his work many, many times. And I'm going to ask Debbie Rosenblatt, would you please read that poem?
Yes. Thank you, Yehuda Amichai. In Jerusalem, hope springs eternal. Hope is like a faithful dog. Sometimes she runs ahead of me to check the future, to sniff it out. And then I call her, Hope, Hope, come here. And she comes to me. I pet her. She eats out of my hand. And sometimes she stays behind, near some other, maybe to sniff out whatever was. Then I call her my despair. I call out to her, hey, my little despair, come here. And she comes to me and snuggles up. And again, I call her Hope. Wow, that's clever. That's beautiful.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Nadia.
To say thank you very much. It was really hopeful. Thank you. And I will leave.
Okay, wonderful to have you.
Barbara. Thank you very much.
Okay, masalama.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Well, I hope you all feel you've been given a great gift. I feel I have across all of these time zones. How amazing it is to meet Nadia. And to be reminded, I meant to say this, that one of the most powerful moments on our trip that I witnessed was we had a very difficult day hearing about the plight of Palestinians in the West Bank and in East Jerusalem. And we had a Palestinian and an Israeli Jew from Combatants for Peace. And they were the most hopeful people we spoke to the entire time. People who had, each of them, lost family members to the violence. And yet they were the ones who brought us hope. And I think that's a very important lesson for us. Everything Nadia said about not simply waiting or trusting in democracy or trusting in leaders, but it's up to us, to each of us, not to have a blind, blissful hope, but to recognize the pain that can actually lead us to reaching out, can lead us to connecting, and can inspire us with hope. So before I close the service, Raquel, it is usually your responsibility to let us know what's coming up. And there is a lot. But before you say anything, I'm going to be sharing these faces of Israel. Nadia is definitely an Israeli, and we'll be showing many faces over the course of the next few months as we acknowledge Israel's 75th anniversary. So I keep tuned for those. Okay, Raquel.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom. Great to see everybody. Thanks everyone for being here. This is really important that we're all together. Thank you, Mom, Debbie Rosenblatt, for reading Torah along with Rabbi. Thank you. That was just beautiful and important today, and everyone for being here again and participating so beautifully. In the coming few weeks before the end of the month, we have a number of important activities and observances. Let me list them, and please then jump in if I'm forgetting anything. I appreciate that. Monday night, Rabbi, please forgive me, I'm forgetting. We do have Moment for Ma'ariv Monday night. Yes, we do. As always, at Monday evening, Moment for Ma'ariv at 7:30 via Zoom. Next weekend, we do have Shabbat services in person and on Zoom at 10 a.m. And the following weekend, in 2 weekends from now, we'll be having a special Shabbat visit on the weekend of February 24th through 26th, with a candidate for our interim rabbi position. So please keep an eye out. We've started promoting that in the temple newsletter. More information will be continued to be communicated via email in the newsletter and in other communications. That's a real important time, and we hope a lot of folks will come out over the course of that weekend to connect with that candidate. That's very important. Looking ahead, I'll just announce one more thing for March. Wednesday evening, March 15th, we have our annual meeting in person and on Zoom, 7 to 8:30 p.m. We'll be voting on new board members, so please come to that. Before that, I don't want to forget, we have a wonderful holiday celebration, the Rabbis